It is 3:04 Eastern Standard Time, 2:04 Central Standard Time, 1:04 Mountain Standard Time, 12:04 Pacific Standard Time. November 2nd address, Ezekiel 37, hashtag Outlaw Media, hashtag Ezekiel the Watchman. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord God, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones. And I said unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise, and beheld a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up on them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Then he said unto me, Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, Thus saith the Lord God, Come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood up their feet, an exceeding great army. And he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, Our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus said the Lord God, Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up. There, therefore, therefore prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, my Behold, O my people, I will open your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. And you should know that I am the Lord when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I am the Lord, have spoken it and performed it, saith the Lord. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel and his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph and the stick of Ephraim and for all those of the house of Israel and his companions, and join them one to another until one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. When the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? saying to them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, and his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided unto two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor the detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and they will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments, and observe my statutes, and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. I will place them and multiply them, and I will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they will be my people. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord. And the heathen shall know that the Lord do sanctify Israel when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them evermore. I say, amen, amen, amen. So let's see. All right. So I just had to put the little bit of content out there. I see Immortal. I see Third Coast. What's going on, man? I had to bless the space with that little reading right there. Um, Anybody wanna grab a mic, you can. Um, I'm gonna send that to you right there. Um, it's deep, man. It's been on my spirit. I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I didn't. I went on and did it today. But this is like really to world events. This shit is going crazy right now, man. Like I got my popcorn ready. Man, I don't care about. I wish they nuke everything and reset all of this shit. I want to walk around like Denzel Washington in the Book of Eli. Like these niggas. I don't know. So yeah, that's my November 2nd address. I don't know how long this space going. I be putting my shit on YouTube and shit and my .com and shit. I be doing my thing. Real interesting. It's about to get a little quiet on the reparations scene. Seem like everybody just gonna talk about they gonna talk about the culture, which is good. They gonna talk about rap and they gonna sell t-shirts. This is cool. And then we're gonna talk about all this money they sending everywhere else. You know, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm just a simple man. I'm just a watchman, man. I'm just watching this shit. I'm playing my part, you know. So yeah, I just had this little quick little space, man. You know, I got meditation and prayers to do right now. I got a whole bunch of other shit to go. I got going on, but I do this for me. I don't do this for nobody. You know, I'm kind of selfish, y'all. I will admit it. I'm kind of selfish. I do this for me because me is more than me. But that might be a little too deep for y'all. Yeah. So um, I'm trying to see what somebody pick up this. Uh, let's see. My spaces be like ultimately shadow banned. Elon been playing with my shit. Like now, I used to edit my videos and shit. It wouldn't let me do it. I just have to just post it. Oh shit. Okay, third coast. What's going on?
What's up with the conscious?
How you doing, brother?
Slow motion, man. Slow motion. I was listening to that because I figured out what you was doing. You giving up the state of Israel as it is today because it wasn't back then. So you was just showing how they really came into power and how they really predated and backdated their story. And I felt like that was really good reading because I was gonna have some conflicting things to say, but I was like, nah, I get it. I get it. But I was actually going over Jacob and Esau this week myself, so that's why I really stayed as long as I did. So yeah, man, good reading.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you sitting back and just taking it in because when we use those words, Israel, we know they stolen words, and we know that Minister Farrakhan got that $5 billion suit going against the ADL. You want to talk about that?
I don't know much about it. I heard about it about a week ago, but
Yeah, he got a $5 billion suit against them because we know who we are, and they over there. This is the white people on white people shit going on right now, just like the Civil War. When you put a Gaza kid and you put a Palestinian kid next to each other, they look like the same motherfucker to me. And they both would turn around and call us a nigga.
right, and that's how I always looked at it.
Right. You
That,
know?
there's no other way. So I never supported them. I never supported them or was against them.
No, we need to let them have it. Let them have that shit. We done lost enough bodies already. I'm glad they not actually putting. Actually, I got family members in the military, many family members in the military. I'm actually glad that they're only sending carriers and they only launching missiles and they're not putting my family members in harm's way in that bullshit.
But they doing it now. They sent some soldiers over there. They sent some troops over there.
Really?
Yeah, to Iraq.
No, I'm talking about over to the Gaza Palestinian shit.
Nah, Iran fired on Iraq.
For real? Break me down. Bring me up. Bring me up.
Yeah, Iran fired on Iraq, and we sent the troops over there to support what happened in Iraq.
So that sounds like a long game to me. So we went over there and war with Iraq, got a foothold because we knew we was gonna have to have boots on the ground to go against Iraq. Is that what it was?
They just did it. You see what I'm saying? It happened. So let me see. Probably about 2, 3 weeks ago, they fired on them. Iran fired on Iraq. So we didn't have no soldiers over there at the time. So what happened just now? They sent the soldiers over there. Probably about last week. And then you know the rest.
So
They've been
they kept a skeleton army over there after they invaded and took the oil.
Right,
They keep a skeleton army over there, so they was waiting for Iran to make the next move so they could just put more boots on the ground and fight that war over there and pretend like they're not trying to take over the whole region, right?
right.
Man, why we the only people that can see this shit, man?
They see it. They just don't want to acknowledge it. They see it. They just don't think we got common enough sense to see it.
That's interesting. What's up, Immortal? I saw you picked it up, man. You ain't here? You got the co-host too. I shot at both of y'all. You know, like I said, this is content. This is creation. This is keeping them eyes open.
Yeah, I just was. I heard that 2,000 troops were sent to support Israel, logistics and all that. So I'm looking for that now. I'm looking for that news. If I find it, I'll put it in the jumbotron. But I think they sent 2,000 troops to Israel. Now they probably bolstering up other bases in the area too. But I know. Well, let me find that. That's what I'm looking for. I think they sent at least 2,000 troops over to Israel.
Hey, so we finna have a fire space third coast. Hang in here with me as long as you can. I know it's a Thursday. You might be finna cut some heads and all that. Hey, look at peep this, man. Alright, so we definitely, man, it's been 100 years since the First World War. We definitely are gearing up for a world war right now. All right. Now I want you to peep the scenery from my point of view. So we got a congresswoman by the name of Cori Bush here, and she put forward HR 414, an update to HR 40. But now she's getting ran against because she's standing on the side of the Palestinians. They've been on the mainstream news here and told her she needs to apologize because she hurt 60,000 Jews' feelings. Hmm, really?
She hurt their feelings. Yeah, they real tight about that, man. They real tight about that. They really, really tight about what's going on over there on both sides. And like I said, they call me a nigga on Arabs and Muslims. So shit, I really don't have too many dogs in the fight. And then if you punch somebody bigger than you, let's just think about it. Let's just go back and recap. I love Dick Gregory, so we got to go back and just look at the facts. So we're gonna look at the facts of what we know. The Hamas magically got some funds, and I'll go into that backstory about that in a second. But the Hamas magically got some funds, and they got some missiles, and they attacked Israel. Now, we can say it was first, or we can say it was a retaliation out of being oppressed. You can call it whatever you want to call it, right? So they attacked them, right? Now, if I punch somebody bigger than me, I'm expecting them to punch me back. True enough, the bad guy was punching first. You know what I'm saying? Israel was doing it first. ISIS, they was doing it first. But at the same time, retaliation was coming. So I look at the death tolls on both sides, and I see that the numbers is not even equal. It's not even funny. How many people have died on the Palestinian side opposed to how many people have died on the Israeli side. So it ain't even close. It's a little bit versus a lot. It's a blowout. So we see who's winning the attacks. We see who's winning the attacks. But it's it. Where do you go from here when it comes to support? See, now they making her apologize because she's on the side of oppression. She's standing against oppression. Naturally, most of us are going to stand against oppression. But at the end of the day, they kind of threw the first rock. I seen videos of these guys throwing rocks at these soldiers, and the Israeli soldiers shoot them dead, and they just throwing rocks. The guy just throwing rocks, and the soldiers shoot them dead. And I was like, man, that's kind of cold, But throwing rocks at a soldier, I can't see that as a killable offense, man. I'm sorry, but it's different rules over there. It's different rules over there. They doing different shit, and you ask for it. if you take yourself up there. And I seen them shoot them down off buildings. They got rocks. These Palestinian guys have rocks. I'm telling y'all, bro. And they getting shot down. And then, some of the snipers is taking like leg shots. Like, I guess he got sympathy. I'm gonna have sympathy for the guy throwing rocks. I'm gonna shoot him in his leg with a 50 cal. You see, that's not sympathy.
I'm gonna just knock your leg off when you go
Yeah,
home.
you see what I'm saying? That's crazy. That's crazy. Put a round through the man's thigh, bro. Come on, bro. That's crazy.
Man,
So
I was back in the day, man. My cousin got hit with a K, and the K didn't even hit his leg straight off. It hit the ground and skipped into his leg and still knocked a patch out of his leg so big. And they gonna hit a nigga straight off with that bitch, huh?
yeah, taking them down, bro. Taking them down like a stroke, man. I'm trying to tell you now. I'm watching this shit. I'm seeing this shit. I'm seeing the videos. They sending me shit, man. They showing me video, bro. And I got into it with a white lady on here because I said the videos I see coming out of Palestine ain't like the videos I see coming out of Israel. It ain't the same. The footage coming out of Israel most of the time be edited. Most of the time. You don't just catch straight shit coming out of Israel. Some of it, but not most of it. But a lot of the shit you come out of Palestine, man, all that shit be raw and uncut, unedited. So that shit crazy. That's a trip right there.
Yeah, man. It's a big trip, man. Like that's why I said I put a little post out there. I got my popcorn ready, man. I've been waiting for this 2024 and seeing how they gonna react since the beginning of this year. I'm waiting because
Now,
everybody,
before we get to the election, let me ask you a question. Because this gonna stick to what you were just talking about with the Palestine situation. Where did the Hamas get the funds for those missiles that they shot at Israel a month ago?
well, they got them from Destro. They got them from the United States through the CIA. Come on now,
Huh?
huh?
So hold on now. Let me back up because we got to go step by step. I don't want to go too fast. I'm talking about when they first attacked Israel. When the Hamas first attacked Israel, where did they get the missiles from?
Okay, they got the missiles from Iran.
Damn. I mean,
Okay, so they got the missiles for Iran after Joe Biden released them oil funds. Uh, connect the dots, breadcrumb.
I'm trying not to laugh. Uh, and it's mighty strange that Iran is supporting the Hamas. Ain't that kind of a coincidence?
Very much so. That's why I said connect the dots. Now, October what 7th? That's when the strike happened, where they supposedly dropped in there and killed all the people that made Israel have to retaliate. But maybe a week or two before, maybe a month before, that's when United States released all those funds to Iran.
Mm, on a prisoner swap.
Yes,
Yeah, that's crazy. So could it be? Could it be? I don't know. Sound like World War III. I don't know. Is Biden trying to remain in office? So you got to ask yourself that. A lot of them willing to do whatever. Like DeSantis is willing to do whatever to win. So Biden is willing to do whatever to win. And if it called for going into a world war where as we have to go into martial law and they can't change presidents, he'll do that shit. He would do that because they tried to implement martial law around here when the tornado struck and everybody was running around and banks. It hit a bank. The tornado hit a bank down here, so they was trying to implement martial law because there was a lot of shit going on. So if a martial law is implemented, then they won't change presidents. You can't change presidents under martial law. So that could be one of the Democrats' fail safe plans, because we see they keep making an influx of immigrants. That we know that's one of their plans. They want to bring 11 million people across the border, and that's what they're doing. I've seen Asians, I've seen Haitians, I've seen Venezuelans, I've seen South American people in general come across that border for the last 6 months or so. It's been an extreme influx, and they said they want about 11 million workers. This is what Chuck Schumer came on TV and said. They need 11 million workers. So we see the plan that the Democrats are putting forward. So moving forward with this conflict between Palestine and Iran, Palestine and Israel, uh, that could be a backdoor effort to do that. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Oh, you good. You got it. Thank everybody for coming to the space. It's 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 Central Standard Time, 1:30 Mountain Standard Time, 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. Outlaw Media Time check. November 2nd address Ezekiel 37. I recited that earlier, but we getting into the world news, education, U.S. national news. I didn't have enough room to put reparations in here, but we just talking about the world events because y'all look here. We definitely got World War III going on. We definitely. We ain't even touch on the fact that they sending all of these immigrants and migrants here. We got the people of Chicago and the Midwest standing up saying, "Hold up, y'all giving them all this? What's going on?" Like, and then we got Israel, Hamas, this proxy Cold War. Some of y'all family members might be on them carrier ships sitting in the Mediterranean shooting missiles into Syria and Iran. All the while, the U.S. funding both sides of this war. Shit's crazy. The shit is crazy. We got our political leaders all befuddled. Some of them getting on the wrong side. You know, trying to get people and for some no, I gotta bring this up. So I'm starting to see a shift in power because what the fuck is Sheila Jackson Lee after running all of them years, after having all of that power as a federal why she jumping down into the mayoral race? Please, somebody tell me.
I don't know. But Tommy Tuberville is a low down bugger. Let me tell you about Tommy. He never had no power. Hold on. He's holding up funds. He won't let them people get their money, man, so they can get their redress. Also, the soldiers now. And he's just simply doing it just because he's in the position to do it. So, he coming from a situation of being a damn head coach to actually becoming a senator, supposed to be working for the people, and he letting the people suffer.
My bad, I had to take a phone call. I mean, what's going on? Who just hit me putting the request? Hold on. Can you pick up the mic? You got the mic. You got the mic, L. Yeah, I had a phone call. I'm sorry for the long pause.
What's good, Cash?
What's good, man? What's going on with you, man? We in here. I'm just kind of the space at the beginning of the space is recorded. You know, I do content and media, the media mogul over here. Um, but we didn't push the conversation to just like all around. Like, let's just talk. You know, I ain't held this type of space in a minute. I got some extra people in here. You know, Immortal here, Third Coast here. We just chopping it up, man. How you feeling? What you think about Cori Bush getting came for because she's speaking out against the Jews?
It's this them Zionists trying to push her out. I don't even mess with Cori Bush like that. Like I be walking past her office all the time because I be downtown in Car Square and shit. And man, like it don't. I feel like we gotta support her. Like I don't even know. I haven't seen what she said, but those comments under her that St. Louis Post Dispatch tweet, the comments under that, it's like nah, they going crazy. They trying to get her out of power, but it's like I don't even know what she said, and she apologizing. That's what I'm like. Damn, what did she say?
You know what she said? What she said is she against all. She on that all lives matter shit. And then they coming against her. They was on the news this morning saying 60,000. The community of Jews here, the 60,000 want her to apologize for siding with Palestinians. They like, nah, bitch,
We gotta
bitch.
stand up to these Jews, bro. Like I don't
They
give
they
a
like they're
fuck.
not, but
Fuck a
they
Jew in
they
St.
telling her
Louis, and they know how I
they tell
feel.
They telling her pick a side, bitch. And they already came for her to send her a warning up in the summertime and went after her campaign finance funds. And they didn't send Wesley Bill to run for her seat.
Yeah, I saw that shit. And he gonna fucking try to he probably getting paid by their ass. We need to find out who this nigga is or like who he
I know who he
associated
is.
with.
He's Bob McCullough's heir apparent.
Bob
The boy,
McCullough, McCullough
yeah,
the
yeah, the one,
lawyer
yeah, the one that sent Mike
that
Brown,
didn't
yeah, the one that let Mike Brown killer go,
yeah.
the one son that last month at a truck or treat shot up everything in Kirkwood and they tied his ass down and he got to walk around the streets on free bail.
No, what's it
That
called? He the same. See, McCullough, his father got killed by like some robber or something. It was a black dude. His father got killed by a black guy. And that's why he always been on this type of timing like this. That's why I'm like, if Wesley Bell under McCullough, yeah, we gotta run against that nigga. We can't have no more of that shit in the city at all.
well, that's who came into the office after McCullough retired. Because he retired, he wasn't ousted, he didn't get fired. He stepped down after he did his last thing and made us tear up the city, letting a motherfucking killer police, a race soldier, kill a black man. He stepped on down and slid into that man. And see, this is the thing about Wesley Bill. He was trying to run for Senate, but he already see we in MAGA country here. And Josh Hawley, he's not a MAGite, but he is a Republican. And he's been running on immigration and all of that. So he's like, I can't beat him. You know
If
what I'm
Howley
saying? We
ran for governor, I would vote for Howley for governor. I'll be watching him on the when he be in the Senate not tribunals and shit, but the Senate investigation meetings and all of that. He be like he always on point. Like I he the only dude from Missouri. Like I ain't fuck with Roy Blunt or none of them motherfuckers, but he the only one. I'm like, nah, he be putting on. He a white dude though, but shit.
Well, look, I will say this. He had I could put it in the jumbotron. He was roasting this white dude. I gotta put it in the jumbotron. He said, y'all pulled 600 border agents off of the border to keep security to make sandwiches and babysit illegal immigrants. So he do be cooking. I will say this. He do be cooking, but we do have to remember we can't take sides. It's the same way with Cori Bush. We can't take sides in these white folk war. We can't take
I
sides.
think that's
Now,
fucked up though. We should be able to say, nah, y'all out here, they really in there. like in them St. Louis Post-Dispatch comments, they were saying it's been more children killed in the last 3 weeks in Gaza than like the last 30 years of war, whatever the fuck. And they in there talking about they calling these children terrorists and shit. Like, we gotta, I don't know how we gonna do it, but like, man, I want to start calling out all the Jews in the goddamn city. Like, you hateful, bro. We calling you out because they ain't really got no power like that. Like, I mean, they claim they think they run some shit, but other than that little community center in Creve Coeur, man, I ain't worried about no goddamn Jews. Like that. That's
Well,
what I'm like. This
I'm
ain't
not worried.
fucking New York. Like, y'all ain't running shit down here for real.
I'm not worried about them either because that's what I do call stay in your lane. I'm gonna let Farrakhan take care of them with that $5 billion lawsuit. I'm gonna let Farrakhan take care of the Jews. I'm gonna let him take care of them. I can't get into all of that. Like I said, I'm not trying to get into all these white folks war, all of that shit like that. I'm gonna let Farrakhan go ahead and take care of them and say, nigga, we the real Jews. While y'all sitting here calling me an anti-Semite, I may not agree with everything everybody does, but I don't have to. So it's deep. Like I put it in my little post. I be putting shit out here, man. If you don't follow me, that's your fault. Like I be putting little shit out there and letting people understand. Like it's a lot. It's levels and layers to this fuckboy and fanboy shit. You know what I'm saying? You can follow you can watch and support a person to a certain point, but when you're not going down that road, then I'll part ways from you. So at this point, when they calling us anti-Semites and I don't have the power or the money to fight that shit, I'll go somewhere else and fight where I can win because I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, if I have to support uh someone or I have to buck break, I hate to use the words, or bed winds break somebody, say, look, the grassroots not going that way. We're not going that way.
Hey, what I don't hear them saying a lot of, because I always hear them talking about black people being anti-Semitic this, anti-Semitic that, but I never hear them calling Palestinian Americans anti-Semitic. Ain't that something? Like, what are Palestinian Americans that they out here running them down because they anti-Semitic in the United States? Like, where is that happening? No, they don't do that. They do it to us. And I'll tell you something else that I ain't forgot. And that's when over here, I think I want to say it's called Bilo. I don't know. I forget the name of it, but it's over there on Natural Bridge on the north side. And this guy, little Palestinian dude, was behind the counter at a store, and a black lady came in there. They got into some sort of altercation, and the little dude ended up smacking the lady across her face and told her, go tell whoever. See, he smacked her face and told her, go tell whoever. Well, she must have did when it told whoever, because whoever came by that motherfucker and lit that motherfucker up and killed the little Palestinian dude. He was 16. So that's what's going on in my neighborhood with the shit. Yeah, if y'all remember that shit. And they gave a couple of blurbs about it, and then they pushed that shit under the rug, because what they don't want is a whole lot of, shooting up this motherfucker, shooting up the dope spot, shooting up the safe house and shit. Motherfuckers went over there and shot and popped the motherfucker at the safe house. All the dope is in the motherfucker, in the Palestinian businesses, in the Asian businesses. All the dope is right there. All you niggas that like to rob other niggas, all the dope is over there. So stop trying to rob the fuck other black people. You know. Yeah, that's where all the dope is. All you tough niggas. All you gangsters. So that's the state of and then you go talk about the rooftop Arabs over in New York during the protest that was going on in New York. Go back and look that up. Let's see where they were from. Was those Palestinians?
It's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all been saying, and we can't afford to be in the middle of nobody's shit. Like, I can't get in the middle. I'm not finna get in the middle of England and Ireland either. The Irish and the English been mad for a long time. Dog the Irish out. So I say the Irish ain't even white. Unless you go to the United States and dog some niggas and then you white. Right? Same thing with the Palestinians. If you get to the United States, we're gonna give you some economic power over these niggas. And then, you know, we'll give you a little bit better white status. Same thing with these Hispanics coming over here. If the white folks and Hispanics arguing amongst each other, the Anglos and the Hispanics, them Spaniards think that they just as white as anybody else. They from Europe too. That's how they feel about it. And they always had a little rivalry going back and forth with them Anglos. So that ain't none of my business. That's something they've been going back and forth for a long time. Same thing with the Irish and the English. Same thing with all they little shits over there. You know, same thing with all they little shits. The only group that well, I ain't even gonna mention their name because motherfuckers will start hating on them. But it is one ethnic group that came to the United States. They ain't even in the so-called, they ain't even in the melanated diaspora. And they the only group, it's only one that I can think of that didn't come over here and start exploiting us, you know. So yeah, it's just the same thing as Ireland and France go to war with England today. I'm not like, why I gotta take a side. I don't, you know, it don't make no sense for me to do that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not finna take your side and then you smacking folks' mama in your stores over here. I'm not finna take your side. I'm not finna take your side when we protest and you got rooftop Arabs shooting up, and if they wasn't Palestinians, y'all still go to the same mosque together though. Y'all still go to the same mosque. You supposed to be at the mosque like, nah, let's not do them like that. Black folks been supporting our cause ever since we had one. And since I'm gonna land it with this, since you know, started the program the way that you started it, and you kind of laid a background for Israel, and you kind of laid open something that needs to be seen. But let's also look at the Palestinian side of things, since so many people want to try to equate my ethnic group with ethnic groups melanated all over the world. Well, let's look at Palestine. Let's look at North Africa. Let's think about the fact that, you know, about 5 years after Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, 5 years after he died, the Arabs came through North Africa, took over all that shit, talking about all of North Africa, all the way to Libya, all the way to Tripoli, to Libya from Egypt. So these people are Arabs that have come through and displaced the Africans, the dark-skinned Africans who was there before. The Egyptians that are in Egypt right now are not the Egyptians that built the pyramid. They not. They conquerors from the Arabic, so-called Arabia, and those ethnic groups over there. And these are the descendants of these people who came through and conquered that land. So you're sitting there calling yourself a Palestinian, okay? You're sitting there calling yourself a Palestinian, but you're not melanated. Because, see, Samson married a melanated woman. See, Samson, go back and look at the story of Samson. That's all I'm going to say. Put it like that. Go back and look at the story of Samson. See who the Hebrews was at the time. See who the Palestinians was at the time and what they looked like. Go see who all of them was. And so the people who are fighting over Palestine and you kicking us out of our homeland, nigga, that ain't your homeland. That's not the land of your where you originated from, where your ethnic group originated from. You conqueror on that land and you displace someone in order to hold all them lands up there. So now another ethnic group of white people are coming in and doing to you same thing you did to the sub-Saharan African. You know, come through and take your shit. Now, let's take a look at this. Last thing. Let's take a look at this. Why they always want us in it? Why they always want us in it? Well, here's one reason. On planet Earth, the Palestinians say it's about 14 million of them on the whole planet that call themselves as an ethnic group or whatever a Palestinian. It's about 14 million of them. That's what the Palestinians say. Well, guess what? It's 50 million plus of us over here. It's 50 million plus. We can take your population in 3-4 times. It's 50 million of us over here, at least, if not more. So, yeah, I guess you do want us on your side, don't you? How many? I ain't looked at the numbers. How many of these? Not descendants of Hebrews, not people who are descendant of the 12 tribes of Israel, because you know he had 12 sons, and each one of them sons spawned a tribe of Israel. So if you can't tell me which tribe you from, then why should I believe you are a Hebrew at all? You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me which tribe you from. All right. So, oh shit, they trying to catch me up in traffic. Let me slow my roll. Hey, so
Let me
anyway,
go.
yeah,
Yeah, let Black.
hey, but so anyway, how many Jews is it on the planet? You got 14 million Palestinians, and they at odds with how many Jews on the planet? So-called Jews, the ones like whoever Israel say is a Jew, you know, who's Jewish. So I bet you it ain't that many more than them. It might be 15, 20 million of them. So you talking about two groups that probably don't even add up to the full population of Black Americans. And I can take you through Black American statistics and show you where, if I go to Minneapolis, we got a 25% mortality rate on childbirth. Okay, so that's war. They go into war. So how many is 25% make up there? So we add that up, these mortalities. 25%, no, that's war. Nah, that's war. So yeah, they doing all that on purpose. How many people died down at the Justice Center in St. Louis in the last 3 years? Now add them up, because they was all innocent. They hadn't been to trial. They was innocent till proven guilty and all that, but they got lynched and killed at the Justice Center downtown St. Louis. So take them and add them to everybody else, all my other Black people, including children. Go to CPS. Let's see how many Black children they got in their custody. Now let's see how many they can account for. If you just walked in to CPS, I know they got more than 10,000 Black babies up in that motherfucker in the United States, and I bet you they can't account for like half of them. So there you go, right there. I mean, do the numbers. Go look it up. They can't come tell me, it's bad what's happening. I don't condone nobody harming children, no kind of way. Motherfuckers ought to learn how to fight war. Learn how to fight war, and it won't be no children casualties, and all the gangsters will get what they got coming to them. But no, they cowards in war. It's a cowardly European way of fighting war. So anyway, yeah. So when they put that little headline out there, in the last 3 years of all conflicts on the earth, it's been more babies died in this last hit. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. You must ain't by that same metric. Go back 3 years and see how many of us they done slaughtered over here.
Nah, you right, Immortal.
Last thing I'm gonna say is I'm giving the same energy that they give to the slaughter that's happening to my people here. I done been to too many funerals in the last 3 years for motherfuckers to come tell me, and nobody gave a fuck. It's for them to tell me, look at what's happening. I got the same feeling about it that they have when it happens this to us. I got the same feeling, so I landed with that feeling.
All right, let me let Black Native. She came to grace the stage. She got her hand up, and she's a person I know very nicely. How you doing? Shalom. You here?
Yeah, shalom, brother. Shalom. Yeah, I was just reading Ezekiel 37 about the dry bones. You put that up there. So let me read what this what you had in your title. And I was just listening to Immortal, and he was speaking a lot of information, a lot of truth. I don't know what the title. What we speaking on, the Palestinian war, like.
What we speaking on is just it's just period like it the dry bones, like everybody trying to breathe life into these dry bones. They wanting this and wanting us to support them. A lot of our people are taking casualties, getting on the wrong side, and we just trying to let these people know who they really are. Like that's really what it goes down to, because it's a cold war. They sending some of our family members on carrier ships. They shooting missiles into Iran and Syria. All the while, they release funds to Iran to give Hamas weapons. Like, we going into World War III?
Yeah, we are. United States white people play two sides, so they're supplying all of these Hamas and all these different so-called terrorist organizations that they've labeled as terrorist organizations. They've supplied the weapons to, so they play a big part in it. I'm not co-signing and I'm not being down with Palestine. They literally attacked some Hebrew brothers in Chicago. We had black people up here talking about, oh, what did the Israelites do? Calling them black Israelites or black Hebrew Israelites. That's white people talk. That's what white people call the Israelites. But the Israelites are truly black people, and the Bible specifically says that they're black people. You know what I'm saying? So when I see that, I wasn't with them, the Palestinians, from the get go, because they come into our communities just like the Asians, just like any the East Indians, just like all of these other foreign entities come into the black community. They siphon the money out the community. They put nothing back into our communities. They don't put a hospital. They haven't built a school. I ain't see a clothes drive. I ain't see a cookout. I ain't see shit. And so, as far as I'm concerned, they like them and the Jewish people was saying to me, I like those people that they calling so-called Jews over there in Israel as white folks. And they doing what white folks do. They come in, they see something, they see some land, they want it, and they don't kill. They'll genocide people and take the land. Those Palestinians and the Bible, actually they were Philistines. That's where the term Palestinian come from. They are all the same people. They are the Ottomans, they are the Greeks, they are the Romans, they are a mixture. They are not the original people who was there initially. Israel was fake. They was given called the Declaration, started in 1917, established in 1948, where United States and Britain gave these white folks that was survivors of the Holocaust who lived in Poland, Germany, all through Europe, gave them that land. And it's always been about land. It's always been about them moving and taking over where the Palestinians live. That's all it is. And they ain't even supposed to be there. They ain't even the original people there. It's nothing such as Middle East. It's North Africa. Let's just stop playing games, okay? We got to know what's really happening. We got to understand that this is all fucking a facade. They built the Suez Canal to separate Egypt from the rest of the part of Africa, trying to claim Egypt part of the Middle East, because you got the Ottomans and the Greeks and the Roman babies living over there now. Those are not the original people. We all understand this. So, with that being said, I don't care. I feel bad that they are murdering their children. Uh, that's and the women. This is what they do. They've been doing this. They doing what white people normally do. They go in the land. They don't give a fuck. Babies, women, dogs, cats. Everybody can catch it. So it's this is not no fucking holy war. They are not the chosen people of God. So we're gonna stop playing these games. All right. So That's my opinion on what I'm looking at. I've been watching Al Jazeera. That's why I watch the news. I don't watch NBC, Fox, none of that. I look at Al Jazeera because it's pretty much it's not what you would say bias. You know, they're showing pretty much what's going down over there in North Africa. You know what I'm saying? There was no such thing as Israel. That's a name that they gave from Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, the father of the 12 tribes of the Israelites. That's where that name comes from. That's Northern Africa. It's all in Africa, but the northern part of Africa. And a brother came up in the space and he was like, "Oh, did y'all know that the Middle East is in Africa?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been knew that shit. Like, you late. I knew that 20 years ago. Okay, I'm glad you just finding out, but I've been knew it." So the Palestinians and the white so-called Jews is fighting over territory that doesn't belong to either one of them. And if you read the Bible, it says all of this will happen in the land of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat is in Jerusalem. And he said that's where all the nations are going to meet up and have a war, and God is going to plead for his people. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't believe you were the original people or black people or the Jews, that's your, you know, that's how you believe. But I can tell you one thing: they ain't white, they ain't beige, and they not the Greeks, they ain't the Ottoman Greek babies. The original Jews were black people. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with religion. It's all about history. It's all about territory. This is where they were. Jerusalem is in Africa. Egypt and Jerusalem is walking distance, but they built a canal there to separate it. So this is where we at. Um, Let them fight the shit out. Ain't got shit to do with us. We need to be getting our shit together. That's how I feel. Don't stop dragging black people into nothing that has anything to do with us. What I can say is this: you had a white Jewish woman sit up there on a panel talking about black American teenagers were the threat of the world. Why is she saying that? Why are you focusing on what's happening over here in America? And why are you pinpointing black American children to be the threat of the world when you over there fighting Hamas? How did we get in this? Why are you so threatened by our children? You know what I'm saying? What's really going down the pipe? And we know, and I feel nobody in this space knows that a lot of the police officers here in America go get training from the Israeli soldiers. Forgot what the name of them are, and then they come back and they practice their shit on us in our communities. So I don't give a fuck about the Jewish people. I don't give a fuck about them Palestinians. I care about black American women, men, women, and children. That is my love. That is what I focus on because that's what I am, and that's what my mama is, and my grandma, and my granddad, and my great 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 grand. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? And I know they don't fucking love our people. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna sit there and watch them people beat up black American people in our country, in Chicago, and you got black people trying to make excuses up for the Palestinians. And you in our country, you coming to wage a war on black Americans because you mad. Why don't you go over there to the fucking Jewish community and wage a war on them? You over here in the black community in Chicago trying to fight black Americans. I don't give a fuck if they Hebrew Israelites or not. They still black American people. And you got our people over there siding with them. And I called these motherfuckers out. And I would say they name in the space. I called them out. I'm like, yo, what's up with this? What's up with this post? You know what I'm saying? What am I reading from you? But that's where I'm at, and I'm just gonna land my plane conscious.
Go ahead, Third Coast, but it's the Mossad. That's the name of the ones that train our police officers over. I believe it's a Mossad.
Right. Man, that was very powerful because I hit on the same point of Jacob when I first came into the space. Conscious, if you remember, I told you I was in Genesis looking at that Jacob and Esau, and she came right in and hit it right dead on the head, man. And like you said, when you was reading that, it was just showing how they trying to backdate their story and do exactly what she said. Come in and oppress her people and take their shit like they've been doing. They same playbook. They using the same playbook. So yeah, I made the same point. And it was crazy that you came in and said the same thing. So I felt like that was a good connection. Totally, you didn't even know I said that because you weren't even here. So that was crazy.
Hey Leon, you got a mic. What's going on, my good brother from Philly?
Not much, man. I just saw your space. Sorry, I called it a little late, man. Just a little busy on my day off here. What's up, Immortal? Third, Black Native dropping it. I mean, Pink Ice. It's a nice little space going on. I had to read up on that too about the Ezekiel 37, man, about the dry bones. Now I kind of have a little bit of an understanding. My take on what's going on. it's it's uh it's the Zionists, and I mean Zionists is mainly just the whites, because Zionists are the wicked devils. They the ones that wants to drink the baby blood and make sacrifices and all that jazz for the sake of nothing, of just pure evil. Um, that's why you have the whites over here siding with the fake Jew whites over there. They're not the original people. By now, we kind of know pretty much where the original people are at. Because remember now, the original people are not going to know they are the original people. We've been brainwashed and all that for years. Nobody's going to know who it is until the time comes, and then the prophecy will be fulfilled. I think that will happen. I don't know when it will happen, but I think it will happen. I would like to see it happen before my lifetime, but if not, then it was not. But I think we're coming to a pivotal point of a lot of things are going down. We just need to be sit idly by and ready just in case any of the shenanigans come our way. Um, that's just how I feel. Yeah, man. I'm not caught up with that stuff over there, man. It's just a story. It's seems like it's a story that's been played to a point before. I just think it's unraveling more now because you have a lot of these other countries are starting to take a stance over there, what's going on, and we've seen this. United States always play both sides. Um, Look at it now. You just had Biden and Kamala Harris talking about now they want to please and beg the House to pass a bill for Islamophobia bill, anti-Islamophobia bill. What the fuck? Where the fuck's my anti-black hate crime bill at? You gonna just go, but not neglect that and just move on to an anti-Islamophobia hate crime bill? Are you fucking kidding me? See, that's the bullshit right there. They doing right in front of us. Right in front of us. I'll just land there.
Go ahead, Black Native. You got it.
Yeah, we're gonna have an anti-immigration hate crime bill too. I said it months ago. I said it months ago. This is what's gonna happen. They place these people into the black communities. They do it intentionally so that we can war with each other and they sit back. So then when the war breaks out between the blacks and the immigrants, they're gonna say, look at the black people. They don't like immigrants. Look at them. Let's get an anti-immigration bill. Let's get an anti-Hispanic or whatever immigration bill. So we're going to be labeled as hating the immigrants, even though we understand what games are being played. They are doing this intentionally. This is not no motherfucking coincidence. You don't bring busloads of 5 or 6 thousand people every week and you place them in the black community, and then you give these people $7,000 a month, $1,000 a month in food stamps. You offer them something called NACA, excuse me, NACA, which you say, hey, we'll give you 185,000 to 200,000 to buy your first home, and then you don't have to pay anything on the home for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So they're already getting set up. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? They ain't gotta stay not they don't wanna hear they coming over and pulling themselves up by their bootstraps and why couldn't you do it? They've done it for every immigrant group of people that have come here, except for the main people who built this motherfucker. They've been doing this shit. I used to work
I don't want to cut your bill, but I just want to build onto you real quick while you keep going. They got a scam with that. You said they got like 4 years or whatever. Do you know a lot of these immigrant motherfuckers, they moving out their house before their time go up and they can re-up and get the same tax break.
and they probably giving it to their family members. They family members, they might move out the home and get another home, but then they family members move into that home and
The
still don't have
same way
to
they did
pay
with their
any.
businesses. I'm
Right.
sorry, Queen, but the same thing they did with those when they gave them those interest-free business loans. They do. It's the same finesse.
It's the finesse. Look, I worked for the Department of Finance in New York City, and I dealt with business loans. And when I got the loans, I had to, implement them into the system. And I would see the names on these loans. And the loans would be for damn near half 650,000, 500,000, $1 million loans. And it was all foreigners, a lot of Asians. So then you wonder how they got these beauty supply stores in our communities, nail shops in our communities. They can't speak English. Let's just this ain't fucking rocket science. You can't speak a lick of English and you're claiming you, and then all of a sudden within a year of you coming over to a country, you didn't put one dime in, you didn't put one tax dollar in, and you're a business owner. How is that possible when you can't even communicate with the customers? They were getting these loans from banks. I was the one that saw the loans. This was in the 90s. And I'm like, well, and it was a lot of Arab names on them loans. It was Asians and Arabs. And they were getting them from banks. So this is not, my family came over here with 10 cents in their pocket and, they were able to just pull themselves up by their bootstraps. That's not that's not how it happened. They've been getting loans. They've been getting shit from the government. It's a white man that did a documentary, and I saw it maybe one time, maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, on how the government gave these Koreans, because most of those people that own these uh, beauty supply stores, they're not Chinese, they're Korean, and how they gave these people this money in order to stifle the money that was flowing through the black community because this is $1 billion business. It was intentional. This is what like. I know. So when I speak on these things, it's like, yeah, I was the one that was saw the shit, saw the loans, signed off on the loans, put the loans in the system. These people ain't coming over working hard and they coming over here with 10 cents and you were able within a year to open up a business and you still don't know who's signing these documents. Because when I had my house and I had a mortgage, when you sign your mortgage, it's at least 30 to 40 pages long. At least. I know it's more for a business. So, and you can't speak English. Come on now. This is the government allowing these people because they don't want black people to have nothing. And that's where I come to. They hate black people. They want us to always be, even when it comes to immigrants, they will put them above us. And it's sad, but that's what it is. That's the fucking reality of it all. There's no way that people that built this motherfucker for damn near 356 years, free labor. We no longer have the ability to build. We no longer have the capability to be able to build a building and start a business. We just lost it all. And you got people coming from a whole another country, can't speak English, and all of a sudden, miraculously, they're that bright and they're that smart that they surpass us. Nah, they're getting help, major help, to undermine us. And like you said, we're gonna have. I'm saying this. We're gonna have an anti-immigration bill that's coming before a black hate crime bill. It's just what it is. If an alien comes here and lands his fucking aircraft and they start getting protests or whatever, and they'll try to say, oh, look at the black people, they don't like the aliens. Let's give them a alien anti let's give them an alien anti-hate crime bill, because that's what's going to happen. They see the statistics, they know
Kamala
that we
already
are the
tried to call
ones.
for it. Not to cut you off, but Kamala just tried to do an address yesterday where she called for Congress to make an anti-immigration bill. She just
Oh,
did a whole
see.
address. Yeah.
See, I said it months ago, and people thought I was playing. Because you got to understand these people, like, you got to understand who you dealing with here. The hatred, and it's anybody could come over here and surpass Black Americans. They don't care if it's a turtle with their kids on their back. They will allow them, they will give them grants, loans, housing, Medicare, food, clothing, and shelter before they give it to us. And
They go
a
to
lot of, and
reparations. Say it, reparations, reparations. They get them everything before they give us reparations.
yeah, they didn't gave what? I don't want to hear nobody talking about where the money gonna come from. If you hear somebody saying that, you gotta look at them sideways. Where the money? Well, if we give y'all reparations, where the money gonna come from? The same way the money is coming from them giving Israel, the same way the money is coming from they giving the immigrants, the same way the money is coming from they giving Ukraine, the same way the money is coming from when they support all these outside sources. It's the same way. So when they run that game about, oh well, we don't know where the money is gonna come from to help you people, that's all a game. They don't really want us to have it. That's the whole thing of it all. They don't. They know they could get the money whenever they feel like giving the money. They give it to everybody else, but they refuse to give it to the people who built this country, who made the economy. We gotta understand, black people. If it wasn't for slavery, there would be no economy to give money to anybody. That's the whole economy was built off of slavery. The banks, the insurance companies, Wall Street, all of this money was built off of slavery. I was just reading, I looked up some things yesterday. We built the roads, we built the colleges, we built the bridges, white people wasn't working. They was look, they wasn't. So the whole system was built off of slavery, and slavery not only supplied money to America, it supplied money to all of Europe. That's how much money was coming in off of the slavery in America. It was making Europe rich.
And when you say that, look, I put you on the jumbotron. So they got a thing now where they're paying content creators off of TikTok and everywhere else. Israel is literally bankrolling the internet so people will push their thing. So in the jumbotron, I put it in there where this lady's talking about, would you hide me? And I just had to say, so we gonna act like Black Americans not going through the never ending Holocaust? And they talking about, where would you hide me, trying to do the Diary and Anne Frank shit? No, go hide where you hide my motherfucking reparations. That's where you can go hide. You wanna know who will hide you, or where can I hide? Go hide there.
Now they have all these commercials they're running to send money over to Israel to help the Israel people, Israelis, not help Palestinians, help Israelis. You should see it. It's a fucking. It's it's like seeing like remember back when that one girl from Archie Bunker, Sally Struthers, talking about 10 cents a day to feed the African kid. Yeah, yo, they're running the same scam for the fucking Israeli. It's I sit there started laughing. This is
Hey,
a fucking joke.
speaking of scams, how about Amy Schumer is trying to backdoor say Martin Luther King best friend was a Jew, so we should support they Israeli, or I think she was on the Israeli side.
Speak on it. I got it. Speak on it,
and
Third.
and and her and Martin Luther King's daughter actually called her out for that. So she's catching flack for what she said because both of them hate black people. I said it in the space already earlier. They both hate black people. So, y'all just gonna have to hold your own nuts.
Can I speak on Amy Schumer racist ass? Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you could hear me. Yeah, it's the gall and it's the audacity. They still think that black people are the same black people, I guess, from the 1950s and 60s that they can manipulate. And I'm glad I read what Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter, she commented on what Amy Schumer did, but there's videos of her specials where she's being racist, like all the rest of them. But I guess she felt like she could try to pull on our heartstrings and say, "What would Martin Luther King do? You niggas killed him." Like we in point blank in the discussion. And I'm glad Bishop Talbert be getting in their ass. He be dragging them for filth up on the internet because he was like, y'all always implement the same tired ass "I have a dream" speech, but you ain't playing that one where he said we coming to get our checks. We coming to Washington D.C. to get our checks. You ain't playing the other videos that he speak about. So I think that they still try to play on the intellectual dummies in our community who still are passive and still feel that they can like gaslight. We past them days right now. Like I don't think they understand where Black American people are at right now, and that we like, yo, we need our motherfucking money. I don't think they understand that. We not trying to hear shit y'all talking about right now. We ain't trying to be put into no Palestinian, Israeli, nothing like that. Cause I don't know how many black people that I know. I know a couple of Hebrews that visited Israel and was showing us the real deal. But I don't know how many black people are visiting or well, it is a black community. Let's speak on that. It is a Black American community that lives it's called Demona, and those are our people over there in Jerusalem, and they put those people over in Demona. And if you look up Demona, Demona is where the Israel government hides their nuclear plants. It's a nuclear facility, and they put Black American people there, trying to say, "Oh, y'all want to come here? Okay, let's drop you niggas off over their nuclear site." But guess what we did? We created a community. We grew trees out of the goddamn desert. It looks like a paradise over there. A lot of celebrities, Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston, a lot of celebrities have visited this place. They're still there. It's a whole community that lives there in Israel, and it's our people that live there right now. And thank God I look up, they're still okay. But Amy Schumer could go suck a dick. I'm just saying, pardon my French, everybody in this space.
Nah, you
She
you good. Just
she could go suck a whole bag of dicks
go
and get the fuck up our faces
go.
with the bullshit. And that's how I feel.
It water. Go ahead, man. You got your hand up, man. You a co-host. You done put your hand up, man. And while you trying to come.
Yeah, so she was going through and mentioning a lot of different things and tactics, things that are happening. And this is not the first time. So I think about the about 20-year span between World War One and World War Two. So let's just say between 1920, about 25-year span. Let's say between 1920 and 1945. They was bum rushing us then with immigrants. They was flooding the zone with immigrants then. They was giving them all these perks and extras and land and money, contracts, everything that they just like they doing now. Um, and yet we were still able to create and sustain vibrant cities and communities, cities, towns, communities. We were pretty vibrant because we were insulated to a degree. You didn't have the choice to go over there and get burritos from your new immigrant friends. You didn't have that choice. You know, you didn't have the choice to go to the Palestinian store and get your little cigarettes and what you like. You either had to go to a black store or if it wasn't a black store, it'd be a Jewish store in your neighborhood. But the point I'm making, we had our own hotels during this time period I'm telling you about. Uh, the Negro Leagues came into being during this time period for sports and entertainment. We even had a basketball league. We had the Green Book that networked you across the country. You can go from LA to Chicago to New York, and you'll never have to stop nowhere that wasn't black owned. But since and so we were insulated from these onslaughts in generations past. Now, now we don't have that. Everybody wants to. We used to make our own clothes, and most of them zoot suits you see. A seamstress made that, a black one. The original zoot suits, and you go see uh, Callaway and all them with their zoot suits on. They didn't go to Macy's and buy that. You know what I'm saying? They had that made for them by Black Americans. Okay, so but now we don't have that same insulation. Like, and it's too much ignorance. Like a lot of people really think that these folks like you now because they'll open up a store in your neighborhood. Yeah, because they'll let you play on their sports team now, or they'll let you have the bottom of the barrel of their women or whatever. And a lot of people think of us think they like us. A lot of us think that we've made some sort of progress, and that you really doing a flex if you got on Versace. Now, if you got a Versace, don't get mad at me, and I'm not mad at you for having it. I'm just pointing out it's an ugly shirt, and you paid too much for it. You should have went to. You could have took them few racks to a Black American seamstress and got you a couple of outfits that was show enough original and dope and fit you perfectly. That's all I'm saying. We got some seamstress that's still cold to this day. So I think you played yourself when you went and got just a Versace because you could have got hooked up one of these seamstress sisters that still know how to get down. See, so we don't have that built into the society stick together shit no more. I don't believe in segregation. I believe in separation. Segregation is when you live apart and they control your economics and your political and everything. You don't control the neighborhood. You just live over there. You don't control nothing. You don't own nothing. That's segregation. But separation is what the Asians do. They're not segregated uh, in their Chinatowns all over the country. They're not separate. They're not segregated. They're separated. They own the businesses. They own all that. The land. They the landlords. They got their own police. Shoot, and the regular police can't really do nothing in Chinatown unless they got a community representative to even help you solve a crime. You got to have help from the community. Otherwise, it's not going to get solved. Period. You don't even speak the language to be over there fooling with them different groups. The police, they don't even speak the language. How you gonna figure something out? You don't know what nobody's saying. So they not segregated. They're separated. I can go to Chinatown over here on Olive, around here in the Metro St. Louis area, and they got books, little advertisements. You go to the grocery store, you see the little advertisements. It specials, and then you see advertisements in there. They got whole books, ain't even in our language, full of
Facts.
nothing but the only thing you can read on there is say State Farm, and then everything else you don't understand what the fuck they said. They had a little realtor symbol in the middle, yeah, and that's the only thing you can read. So until we can't afford to not go back. We have to go back to that. We can't afford not to. And I don't care if it costs more. Jewish people have been through that when warring with their white counterparts, with their other white people. They say, well, I had to pay $2 extra for this corn, or 10%, 2%, 5% extra, up to 10% extra just to shop with my people. You know what they did? Shop with their people anyway, because they
Hey,
knew.
Immortal, if I can
Go ahead,
chime
go ahead.
in. I might have a unique experience, maybe from everybody in this space. I'm just going to speak on the seamstress. My mother was a seamstress. She still is, and she crochets. So pretty much all throughout my high school, and I resented her for it, and I got a job. She made all of my clothes. She made all. She had 9 sisters. My mother's the baby. Oh, 8 sisters. There's 9 girls and 2 boys. And she made all of their clothes, and she crochets. So when you saying that we have seamstress, my mother is still she still crochets. She makes she used to make me and my brother coats with the wool on the inside, and we used to wear sewn clothes. And I kind of was mad because going to high school, I wanted to be in fashion with everybody else. So that's when I got a job and started wearing designer. But my mom's made all of my clothes, my graduation dress from high school, like knitted anything that you could think of, she could do it. And she always wanted to teach me, but I was like, I don't want to learn about that shit. Now I wish I would have. I still know how to crochet a little bit, but I say this. I might have a unique experience from probably anybody in this space. I lived around Italians, and then I lived around the Jewish community. So I lived around two different type of white folks in New York. And my when I grew up around the Italians, they didn't like black folks. They used to chase us. If you watch the show, Everybody Hates Chris. That was real. Like they used to literally chase us. If we missed, we would get bussed. They would come into the projects and they would bus us. And if you missed that school bus and you had to walk through their community, it was shit. So you had the Italians that didn't like black people, and then right next to the Italians there was the Russians. So where I grew up, it was Italians and Russians. And then when I moved into an area of Brooklyn called Crown Heights, which is nothing but the Hasidim Jews. My next door neighbors on both sides of me were Jews. The ones that wear the black with the hat and the Shirley Temple curls on the side. My grandmother had bought a house, and she paid $35,000 for the house at the time. Uh, we sold it maybe about 6 years ago, and now I looked it up. It's worth $2 million. So I grew up around them, and I grew up around Italians. So I have like the very intricate kind of experience that a lot of black people who are from the South might not have by me being around both of these groups of white people. That's why I say they all white. The Jews had their own police, they had their own hospitals, they had their own stores, the grocery stores, the kosher stores. They just they literally isolated themselves and only dealt with their own people. They separated themselves, but they will come down and get social service, welfare. I'm gonna say that welfare. when they needed it. Even though they didn't need it, just because it was there, they would come and get it. So when you say that Asians separate but not segregate, there's a difference. They want the perks of everything that there is to offer, any kind of government assistance, whatever, but they don't want to deal with being around other groups of people. So they intentionally separate themselves, but they not segregated because they're not living in poor housing standards. Their schools are not lacking books. None of that stuff. So I can, in the Asians, that's a whole nother story. So I could kind of agree to you, and when I speak on this because I know a lot of people never probably grew up around these two sectors of different type of white folks, literally, and I could speak on both, and I'll just land on that.
Thank you. Uh, I'm about to go ahead and I want everybody that got a mic to have some closing comments. I'm a very calculating and meticulous person, and I have to put things onto .coms and YouTube, so I didn't want this space to last too long. Everybody that came in here, you caught lightning in the bottle. Thank you, Third Coast, Immortal, Leon, Black Native, L, all y'all that came in here. So before we close it out and get a last time check, anybody want to give me some closing comments?
Well, thank you for having me. I didn't know you got a YouTube channel.
Man, I've been had a YouTube channel for over 5 years.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He does have a YouTube channel, and he'll put it in his in his timeline, and hopefully you'll go there and like and share the
Yeah,
content.
I subscribe. I know you had a YouTube channel. I know you on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but I know you on TikTok. But
I'm
yeah, I just wanted to come in, just share a little bit, my opinion on a lot of on some things that we see what's going down and how they're trying to constantly put us in the middle of it for some reason. Like they can't just let us be. They always got to be like, well, what about Black Americans? Hey, what y'all think? We think we need reparations. How about that? How about when I see some Palestinians post reparations for Black folks on their timelines? Then maybe I can look at you and say, well, you are, you might be in, you could possibly, and I'm say possible, like you playing spades, you got, two in a possible four, or two in possibly be an ally. But until then, nah, I'm good on that. And I don't want them to keep trying to revise history and say the Palestinians was there with us fighting for civil rights. I ain't never seen, I mean, I need a picture. It was a white man that, or a Palestinian that posted something today on Twitter, and I said I've never seen a Palestinian get bit by a dog, water hoses, or a Billy baton upside the motherfucking head. Now I put a picture. I said, "See, you can easily. It's an easy Google search." Now, if I see something like that, then maybe we ain't gonna keep rewriting history where everybody was fighting with us in our civil rights movement. Next thing you know, they're gonna have the donkey and the fly up there talking about they was there fighting with us too. No, I want to see fucking pictures because I ain't never seen no Palestinian, no Mexican. I ain't never seen none of these people when they get in the dogs and the water hoses and beat upside the head. I ain't seen it. Now maybe y'all might have some information that I need to know, but until I see that, kick fucking rocks. You ain't gonna keep trying to add us into your bullshit, and then you gonna sit there and talk about, oh, they was there too. When? When? I need proof. So I'm just gonna land on that. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Conscious, peace, brother, and shalom.
Thank you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for gracing and bringing that feminine energy into the room. What you said totally aligned with everything I was doing. Y'all go ahead and listen to this, record it back, tweet it out. Listen to the first like 5 minutes. If you want to understand or go research yourself. Go read Ezekiel 37. Understand what I'm talking about with dry bones. Understand that there's a lot of things going on in this world. Black Americans need to just play their part and do what they got to do. So, with that being said, you got something else to say, Immortal, before I go ahead and shut it down? Because I got to do a time check and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna shut it down.
Nah, fam, I think we done said a lot. Like you say, when they call lightning in a bottle. So nah, yeah, I'm good.
All right. With that being said, it's a three. Well, it is 4:40 Eastern Standard Time, 3:40 Central Standard Time, 2:40 Mountain Standard Time, 1:40 Pacific Standard Time, Outlaw Media Time. Check November 2nd address, Ezekiel 37, hashtag Outlaw Media, Ezekiel the Watchman. Hey, y'all follow me. I'm on every single platform. I own a .com. I have a YouTube. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We trying to get these reparations, y'all. Y'all not finna keep putting me in that business. My business is my mother. I'm not gonna cuss. My business is my money. Holla at your boy. Keith.